Hello, everyone, and welcome to Rob Has a Podcast. I'm your host, Taran Armstrong, and I am here today to talk to the first two jury members of Big Brother Canada 9. Unfortunately, their video is not working, so if you are watching the video, it's just me on the screen. But you will be able to hear the jurors as they answer my questions. So let's get straight into it here. Here are our jury members. Ro, Vic, how are you?
Hey, good.
Doing well, thanks.
All right, so I've got a question for you here. I would like, and this is for both of you, so you can we can start with Ro. I would like you to rank the remaining players in the game in order of who you think you're most likely to vote for in the end to who you think you're least likely to vote for in the end. And if you could elaborate on why, that would be great as well.
For sure. So I think right now the person that has the resume to win, if I were to cast my vote, would be Kiefer. He'd be in the number one slot. I think everything else after that, maybe I'll put 6 and 7, Tina and Tara, respectively. And then the middle's kind of all jumbled up. I think right now Braden's playing a great social game. He hasn't won competitions, but I think that's, part of his strategy. So I would almost put Braden 2, and then I would put Tashawn 3, Judson 4, or maybe even Beth 4 and Judson 5.
All right, Vic.
Very similar to Rohan. Literally the exact same, except I would switch Jed and Beth. I think Kiefer could definitely win this thing. Tina and Tara, they need to do more in there. They need to get some blood on their hands, win some comps. But I do think Kiefer can go all the way. And I think Jed, Beth, and Ty, they're playing a good game as a trio, and that's getting them really far. But they did me dirty, and I don't love that. But, yeah.
All right. Vic, what are you looking for as a juror? What is your philosophy as a juror?
I'm not going to be a bitter jury member. I'm just looking for the best game played. So someone who's won a few comps, someone who has a great social game, someone who played a smart, somewhat clean game. I love all of those things. Kiefer totally has that resume right now.
All right. Ro, what does it mean to you? What does it mean to be playing the best game this season?
Just to be a very diverse player. I don't think just winning a large number of competitions should qualify you to be a winner. I don't think just playing a very strong, friendly, personal game should qualify you to be the winner. But a combination of a couple of those things, right? And, so far, Kiefer, although he sent my closest ally home, although he sent me home last night, he is basically in every room. He's playing all sides of the house. He also has a couple HOHs. He took himself off the block with a veto. And to me, he just has the most well-rounded resume at this point. The others have done good things, and I respect them all in their games. Tina and Tara probably have done the least in there, so it's going to be very hard for them to win the game unless they're sitting against each other at this point. But that's, Kiefer's the most diverse, and that's what I'm going to be looking for as an objective voter.
All right. Ro, if you had stayed in the game, what was your plan? Who are you planning on taking to the final two?
So the reason that I formed a four-person alliance with Tina, Tara, and Kyle early on is A, for numbers, so that they would vote with me in every eviction, but B, they were the easiest to beat in the end. And so ideally, I would have been sitting in a final two scenario with Tara. I think in that situation, I win 7-0. A lot of people didn't either like Tara's gameplay or just the fact that she was floating along, which, she may or may not have done. But the reason I formed that alliance early on was to make sure that they took me deep should they won, if they won an HOH, and I think I could have beat both of them in the end. But I think I could have beat, honestly, most people in there, except maybe Kiefer. Kiefer probably would have put up the greatest fight. So I wouldn't have taken him for sure. All
right, Vic, how about you?
What my plan would have been?
Yeah, who do you take? Who do you have taken to the final two? If you had the choice.
I would have taken Rohan or Kiefer for sure. Rohan or Kiefer, great games. I think I could have done good sitting beside either of them. It would have been a close call, but I'm a super fan, and that's what I like.
All right, Vic, what do you think was your biggest mistake in the game?
My biggest mistake was putting up Braden and Austin as the invisible HOH. At the time, I thought it was the right move. I wasn't vibing with Austin. I couldn't read her. And I thought that by putting them up and not Jed, Beth, or Ty, I was proving my loyalty to them. I was showing them I'm not coming for you guys. I'm an asset for you guys. Let's do this.
All right, Ro, if you could go back and change one thing about your game apart from winning that veto, what would it be?
To be honest with you, I wouldn't change a whole lot. After we sent Latoya home in week 3, I felt that I was in a very good position in the game. And Kiefer winning that next HOH, I would have put everything on the fact that he would have put 2 of the 3 people that voted against him on the block, but he didn't. And then Victoria obviously won the invisible HOH and put 2 of our supposed allies who were never going to put her on the block. If those 2 weeks go a little differently, then the whole game changes. I think my biggest mistake maybe was just misreading Kiefer early on and the type of player he was going to be. And the brush up that we had early on in the game maybe affected his decision to put Kyle and I on the block. I'm not going to sit here and say that it had nothing to do with it. So that would be the biggest mistake. I wouldn't change anything drastically, though. I think if things happen differently, then this would be a whole new ball game.
All right. Ro, who do you think is going to win the game?
Who I think is going to win. So, I mean, the case looks very good for Jedson, Beth, and Tashawn, one of them winning. I think if that scenario happens where 2 of them are sitting there, maybe Tashawn has the greatest chance right now for me. Kiefer has the best resume. However, I think if the 3 win and they get in power, they're probably going to look to snip Kiefer pretty soon. Braden, Braden's played an extremely good social game. I want him to win. I want Braden to win and get an HOH and maybe make a big move, but I just think the odds are really stacked against him at this point. What
about you, Vic? Who do you think is going to win the game?
I think Jed's going to win. I think he's going to pull it off.
Who do you hope is going to win the game?
I hope Kiefer wins at this point. He's played an excellent game. He deserves to win, I think.
All right. How much of your decision is going to be sort of personal versus what they've done in the game, who's played the best game?
My decision will not be personal. I love this game. I would never go into this bitter. I'm voting for who I believe played the best game. And at this point, it looks like Kiefer.
How about you,
likewise for me. I'm going to be purely objective voter. I'm voting based on the facts. Who played the best and most diverse game, and as I said, if the vote were to take place today, Kiefer would have my vote.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And there you have it. That was Vic and Ro talking to me about who they think they would vote for in the end and what they thought of their games. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Of course, I'll be live every morning, 11 a.m. Eastern, to update you on everything that's going on the Big Brother Canada 9 live feeds. We'll also be live after every episode, recapping what happens in those episodes. And on Tuesday nights, we have our roundtable. We rate the players. And hey, these jury questions may influence the ratings that we have for these players. So thank you guys so much for joining us again. And I will see all of you next time.